it's like you live it again. So no, I don't want it. My sister lives in right up in Grand Junction, Colorado,
okay.
and we've been looking at houses there. But now, I don't know. We're kind of in the, like, if we do sell, we might just not buy anything for a little bit and see where we want to be. Or if
And you have the RV and you can go travel around and...
There's a shooter, so just in case you hear that.
Say that again?
That was a gunshot.
Oh, I didn't even...
Yeah, you hear that, that's probably what. Okay, then we'll go up to Dallas's. We call it Dallas's because he is another wonderful friend of ours. And he started building this cabin, and it's just a shell. But if you were to finish it out, or whoever decides to finish it someday, it'll be super cool. We kind of got like a little trail here. I like all the little wind caves and stuff.
Say that again?
I like the little wind caves.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure you probably see something different every time you're...
Do. And we haven't, that's like the hard part. Is we can't enjoy it now. Because we're like everywhere.
Yeah.
Do all kinds of plant stuff. This was our very, very first building we built, was this little rock house right here. And we would bring 3 bags of cement up at a time in a wheelbarrow.
Oh, wow.
From down the road, because we didn't have a road up here. So this is a little dilapidated, I would have to say, for sure. But like this deck, obviously needs to go. But this spider web there. So Dallas is building this.
Oh, this is cool.
It's very cool.
I love the live edge.
This is leach field for that septic tank that's down there.
Okay.
Yeah, when my son-in-law, they ordered lights because they thought they were going to live in there in the fifth wheel, so he got all this. Anyway, so Dallas and my husband, they found this guy that sold this cool wood, so we have some of that.
Okay.
And this part is all done downside. It's say doors. Obviously, it would have to be cleaned immensely. And then I think washer dryer was he gonna put in here.
Okay.
I think a ladder.
Oh.
Yeah. A stair.
Go up to the loft.
And
Yeah.
then he wanted to do one of those barn type doors.
Oh,
and then
awesome.
This is the bathroom. And the shower's up here. So I think it was like his plan was, which pack that nest, is you just come up here, shower. And this, I think he wanted as maybe glass.
That's
Not
amazing.
sure. Yeah, so this all needs to be finished.
Okay.
And then there's a bedroom up top. We could go out that way. Right over here. Just be careful. And these stairs scare me to death. I told him, I'm like, you're going to have to put a rail up here. Going up to the, I don't know, terrifying. We'll just look in here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the window, I think it keeps moving. Leave it. Oh, I think a bird hit it, broke it. Yeah, so that will be his bedroom. Or would be. He got married, became an anesthesiologist, and his plans changed too.
Okay.
In life. He's about 37, I guess. We met him when he was 17.
Now, what is that right there?
That would be his septic.
Okay.
That would all run from the bathroom. That would be buried eventually. And then probably surround it with rocks and then bury it with gravel.
Okay.
And then that part right over there blew off his roof. This guy had told him about putting you put the tar type stuff down with heat and then put that on there. It didn't hold. All right, so let's go this way just real quick.
Okay.
I'll show you kind of where the other corner is. Be very careful here.
Yes.
This is a disaster. For our other corner,
I noticed I got a little bit of cell phone service while I was out there.
yeah, no, and we have used it.
Okay.
Down on the, so I can now, I can text and I can actually talk on the phone. There's a delay, but yeah, there is. We do have service.
Okay.
But I saw somebody the other day, and she said, "I'm asking." Oh, it was the lady I ran into up in the park. She was in Death Valley, and she had a stalker. So now it's all coming out, and no cell phone service there. So she said she wrote a letter and asked them to put a tower there. We've always said they need to put a tower. If you have direct line of sight through that, like saddle over there, like Scott has a little antenna over by his place, and he has a chair there, and he can sit there and talk on the phone with no problem. But it has to be right there. So we used to have like a little picnic area back here.
Okay.
I'll show you. I'm taking you to the other corner. It would be right. Oh, let's see. Come down from the rock that looks like a little animal there. If you just came down, oh, there, that white, do you see that white piece of pipe? Maybe from right here. You can see that's our other corner.
Okay.
Like, look down low.
Oh yeah.
Where the tall grass is, yeah.
Yeah,
that would
I
be
see
the
it.
other corner.
Okay.
And actually, Lee was digging, he dug about 6 feet. Because my dad said, you're going to hit water out here because that's a very wet area.
Okay.
We actually dug right over this hill. In our wet years, there's a natural spring that runs over there.
Oh, awesome.
But it hasn't for,
Yeah.
you know, drought.
But you never know when you're gonna get that.
We've had these all run for weeks after, you know, rain and snow and stuff.
Amazing. But it's gorgeous.
You never know. Yeah, like you said, you never know when it's going to change.
My favorite is the smell after of rain.
Awesome. Yeah, we had a big telescope, and we ended up getting rid of it, but we had that set up there to check out the stars. But I would not walk on there.
No?
No, I wouldn't. It's probably the bottom.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the bottom's probably really still real.
after sitting in the sun for.
Yeah, it's been sitting there for a while with no loving timber clear. Settled a little bit. Yeah, we've had water run under here. We dammed it up over by the big where the treehouse was, and we had a pond there.
Now, what you were talking about doing with the well that you would do with like adding more pressure, do you know about how much doing something like that costs?
Well, I know the tank, which is right over there. I think Jordan and Michael said that cost about $1,200.
Okay.
And then you see that frame, that like fence looking thing?
Yeah.
That's our water tank.
Okay.
So we pump from the well.
Okay.
We'll walk that way.
The well was one of the things that they were telling me to ask a lot about. So.
Yeah, because it's important because everything you read, California won't have any water.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny, I grew up, like I said, in Colorado, so Lake Powell was a huge family vacation place. We went every holiday practically. And now it's, you know, it's so low because they have to keep, well, so that was what I was thinking about there was Mr. Powell, who, you know, did the whole Grand Canyon and the Colorado River. He wrote back to the president at the time and said, quit telling people to go west. There's no water out there. This is Lee's brother died, and he's actually up, his ashes are up in that, where that eagle's in that box.
Okay.
And he kind of just, I think this was therapy for him. He went kind of crazy with the tile, and there's a lot of keepsakes. There is stuff from foreign dignitaries up here.
Okay.
Saudis and like the buffalo. Where's the buffalo? Yeah, that's up there. That's the forest gave us that, and then oh, right here we had. I gotta come up here and play that one of these days. This is from the Saudis. Goes here. That came up. But I told the guy, I said, I think that's probably pure gold if it came from the Saudis. And then this is from the Prince of. I can't remember. I'll have to ask him. He's got the big brain on history. But the Ford kids gave us that. It's dirty.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so that's our water tank.
Okay.
So the well, you see those two barrels right down there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the wellhead. And like I said, the static feet is about 13 feet.
Okay.
And then the pump goes down to 185 feet. So what I do is I thought I'll pump 1,100 gallons into here. And then this is another thing. If we were going to stay, that we were going to do is hook everything up to one big propane tank, because Dallas's dad, he drives for Feral Gas, so he brought us this tank, and he said, all the buildings up.
Okay.
So I don't have to carry all the water, the propane bottles anymore.
Oh, okay.
So that would be an improvement. I would do.
A little upgrade.
And then I put that other like 3,000, one of those tanks right here.
Okay.
Put these together, and then in between put a pressure tank.
Okay.
Just a little, you see them all over out
Yeah.
here. The little blue, you build a building around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I would pressurize everything from here all the way up. All the way up to the end.
Okay.
And then that is a little castle I was building for my grandbabies. I just been building on it.
There's just so much to discover, like.
Yeah. So this is something we're just fooling around with. They like to come up here, play pirates.
Sounds like fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they like
Arr.
riding the razor too, yeah. Go looking for it.
Very cool.
Yeah, so, I don't, whenever anybody comes to me, like our friends or co-workers or whatever through the years, it's like, some are like, I don't know how you do that. And it is a challenge. It's like, you have to be aware, like when the water's running down, or, you've got to make sure the batteries are all, water's coming on in.
Now, the solar system you own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we bought it from my electrician. He drove it out here. It was called the Powerhouse, and it was all inclusive in this one building. And he drove it out here, and we had wired everything, so we were so excited when we got power. I was like, yay!
And do you produce more than enough, or is?
Yes. The biggest draw always on a solar, obviously, we don't have air conditioning and heating central, right? Because those they deplete the system immediately. We have a swamp cooler.
Okay.
In the kitchen living room.
Okay.
Way too big for the area, but when it gets, because I don't like it in the house over 85.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to cool down a little bit. But during the day you can do that. If we run that at night, or let's say if we wanted to stay up late and watch a movie or something, I would probably turn the generator on just to give that little, since it's already dark.
Okay.
And just give it a little boost. But yeah,
And there's always more space to add more panels.
Oh,
and
absolutely. Yeah, and batteries. Storage is your thing.
Yeah.
Now, the Tesla battery is his battery bank, if that is up and running well now, that is the way to go. Because we have 16 and 8, 24, I think 24 batteries. And so that's always the thing, and it's like we have plenty of sun here, obviously, living where we do, and it's the storage, storing the power. I'll show you the powerhouse real quick. But so we added, we had
Well, I'm used to that.
Yeah, we had a solar pump on our well for several years. You know, we were trying to go everything with the least amount of electric draw, so we had a solar pump. And it just was, you know, like new technology. We just kept having problems with it, so we had Walter come and he put a regular electric powered pump in the well. So we had these four little panels was on our solar pump, but we just combined them now with this guy. So he stroked us, I took the tires off.
Okay.
They'll just rot if they sit in the sun.
Yeah.
He just drove this powerhouse up. And here's the batteries. And we just had to buy a new Outback inverter. So that was a pretty penny, but boy, has it been awesome. So let's see. Yeah, so we have 24 batteries.
Okay.
And this is the new Outback inverter, which is, like I said, awesome. And we've had to replace these in 20 years once. We replaced all the batteries.
Okay.
Which was about $2,600.
And I'm sure that with time they've probably gotten better.
Everything's getting better and cheaper.
Excellent.
With the solar. And, you know, the other option is, like he has Southern Cal, right up on at the very first house when you drove in on Blacksmith is, he died actually, Art did, but his wife, his ex-wife has it, Kathy. They have power right there. So, I mean, there's always that option.
Okay.
We can, up out the gate, there's that really kind of big flat rock right there.
Uh-huh.
Right across the road from that is our other property corner.
Okay.
And then down here would be the other. So it's a big rectangle.
Okay.
So yeah. That's
Wow. That's very awesome. It's a lot to process. And
these are all sandbags.
okay.
We did that first because we were like, we didn't know if we could handle it, do it, you know, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought we would.
Now, is there any issue with having RVs and things out here? Or?
Actually, if you had a code problem like Garth, do you know Garth?
No.
Oh, okay. He has 640 acres up here. He's like the mountain man.
Okay.
It's an amazing place. You'll have to go out there sometime.
Okay.
Oh, let's go talk to Leah second, because when he first moved out here, Thomas and Amara, who have the pottery shop in Pioneer Town, introduced us to Garth. And so we were in the laundromat at the same time, and he was staring at Lee, and Lee was staring at him. And finally he's like, "Are you Archibald?" And so we got to know him, but he has a really phenomenal place up there. But he was telling us, because he had a sheriff living on the corner as you drive up to his property.
Okay.
And that sheriff would call the code police, we call it the code police,
Ah.
on him all the time, you know, because Garth is, you know, he's like kind of an older hippie guy.
Yeah.
And he has lots of people that come up, and he has drum circles and, I mean, all kinds of really
Awesome.
cool stuff up there. So the sheriff was a little further right, so he would call the code police. But Garth said if you have an RV on your property, you're fine. Because that is considered a home.
Okay.
You know, like you would. So I don't
Yeah.
know. We've never had any problems at all.
Yeah.
We had, after the fire, our property taxes were like, I hate to even say this, like $500 a year.
Oh, wow.
And so after the fire, one of the San Bernardino County women, she came driving in looking, because the house across the wash there burnt down, and so she was looking for that, but she ended up over here. And Lee met her at the car, and she's like, "Now where am I?" And he's like, "Right here." She had her map. He's like, "You're right here." She goes, "You got a well permitted?" And she goes, "What about those buildings? Were they there?" And he goes, "Yeah, some of them were here. We just kind of, you know, fixed them up." And actually, we built everything under 900 square feet, I think, except, that is when, at the time when we were building, the code was you could have a 900-foot structure without it being permitted.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that's still the case. So, I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, we were going to ask about Garth, because I think you would love to meet him. Get back. Okay, you want to come out here, babe? Sure. Okay. Oh, okay, Bill. I was just telling him about Garth. He has never been out there. So I was thinking maybe you could tell him how to get there, because he has some cool stuff. Ragnar, your leash, where is it?
Okay.
Right here.
In the Garth place, this is like, I took my son out there a couple weeks ago. He'd never been there before.
Ragnar.
He said, this is like, Garth is like this place on steroids.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That sounds.
He has 240 acres. He's at a natural spring.
Okay.
And he's been there for 50 years probably.
Yeah.
And it's in a family trust, I think, so it never be sold.
And so his property goes right up to yours?
No,
No,
he's
no,
way
he's
up. He's
way-
over there.
He's over there.
I was
about
just,
10
we got
miles.
on the subject because of the having a camper out here.
Yeah.
I told him that Garth had told us when we very first moved out here, and I'm not sure if that's still the case, but if you did have a code, the sheriff was calling the cops on him all the time, or the code police, that if you had an RV, he had that one RV,
Yeah.
because he has a cement teepee. He took his teepee and cemented it.
Okay.
He's done all kinds of cool stuff with flying cement, and yeah, he's inspirational. But
He's a nice guy too. He's cool.
do you go out Gamma Gulch?
Yeah, they go Pipes Canyon. They go up Pipes Canyon around to Gamma Gulch, which will be on the end of the straightaway.
Okay.
Gamma Gulch, you go about 5 or 6 miles, and you look for a sign that says God's Way,
God's
God's
Way?
Love Way.
Yeah.
God's Love Way West.
Okay.
There's east and west, and you turn there. Kind of a shitty road, but just keep on going to the very end, and then you'll be in paradise. It makes this place.
And you just, somebody will probably come out and, and just say, I would like to come look around. I mean, they have people that come out and look around. They have people that camp out there.
Oh,
It
wow.
just
They have
depends.
drum circles. And,
Yeah,
Very cool.
all kinds of things.
Stuff, yeah.
Full moon.
Garth's
So-
not getting around too much.
Yeah,
anymore.
I told him he's sick. He's real sick.
Nice man.
We definitely wanted to finish the buildings up by Jordan's and turn that all into like another little house, like a guest house. That was our plan. Yeah. But, right, I'm gonna stop chewing. This is one thing that we've found we've had 2 German Shepherds. He's our second one, but they have some allergies out here. I think
Okay.
with the yellow, because I do too.
Yeah.
But that, I would say he chews, or he's neurotic. We're not sure.
Whereabouts in Portland do you live?
Right in the city, like, if you're familiar with the Cully area,
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah, I used to live in Eugene. I was the sheriff's deputy up there, and then my old sister-in-law, they lived in Gresham,
Okay.
so I used to go up there a lot. And first time I went to Portland was 3 days after Mount St. Helens,
Oh, wow.
and Bruce and Marla, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they lived in like a small apartment complex.
Uh-huh.
Bruce and I the ash was 3 feet deep on top of the condo. They'd be
Wow.
up there with shovels, and it was crazy.
That's insane.
I know. I think when we drove up to get Ragnar, it was all cloudy and we couldn't see anything because I don't remember seeing that area.
I'm heading up there tomorrow. I
Oh.
hear there's going to be a lot of rain.
Yes, the Pineapple Express is coming through, right?
Yeah.
Because we told Scott, the kid that lives over here, our caretaker.
Contact must have slipped out.
He's up at Santa Cruz right now. He said yesterday 16-foot waves.
Oh, wow.
He's a surfer.
Wait, yeah. Well, he's supposed to be doing cement up there.
Uh-huh.
He did he widened our sidewalks when Lee got his chair and put the sidewalk over to the camper for us.
Yeah.
He's, like I said, he was a lifesaver. And, but yeah, he's like, I'm not getting much cement done, but the waves are amazing.
Well, thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for showing me around.
Yes. Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even if you don't buy it, if you guys want to hang out, whatever.
Hang out.
Awesome.
We're easy, yeah.
Seriously.
I would love that. It's a fantastic property, and I know everybody's going to be excited to
Okay.
see. And
He's from Michigan, his parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when we got up to President Ford stuff, he was like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so Michigan.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun back then.
yeah, there was something that happened with my grandfather. I remember at a rally that was in our hometown where he kind of embarrassed the family. I forget what the story was, but
He didn't shoot at him, right?
no, I don't think
because
so.
that's only 2 women shot at him.
Okay. Yeah, there was. I'll have to ask my dad what it was because I know there's a story, but I can't remember what exactly.
Where
it
do
was.
they live in Michigan?
Saginaw?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been once for the funeral,
Yeah.
and have you been?
But yeah.
Oh, you've been a lot, right? Yeah. With on there. Well, if you have Cynthia, she can help you with any questions you have.
Okay.
This is like you're like the first person I've walked around with. I don't even know what to do or say, but
You've been an excellent
Okay.
tour guide, and
right.
I'm sure I'll think of other questions, but
Yeah.
and they will as well.
Yeah, just let us know whatever.
Yeah, I think that if we had to do over again, obviously, Thomas and Amara, they own the pottery shop in Pioneer Town.
Uh-huh.
And they live way out by Parsons Ranch, past Garth. They have a 2-story yurt that Thomas designed and built. It's a massive thing. But when we first started, when we were just out here building sidewalks and stuff, Amara said, "Are you gonna make it ADA compliant?" And I said, "What for?" And she said,
If you're in a wheelchair, and we're like,
I'll
no.
never be in a wheelchair.
Him and your boss, Dan, and he came out, and Dan's like, I don't know, this isn't very like wheelchair compliant. And we're like, oh, we aren't gonna need a wheelchair.
And then I used to tell people when I get to the point where if I get something weird disease and I can't walk, I'm just gonna buy a camper. I was joking. I didn't mean that. Right? And now
Well, you just sleep in it. We sleep in it. Yeah.
Still, you get to be out in this,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so it's
I love it.
yeah.
And
It's
this
so
place
quiet.
is so quiet.
Yeah.
Being off the grid and everything is not for everyone, but I think if we'd had the money back then, it was what, $20 grand to put the electric here.
I think it was about 25,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's 20,000.
Well, and our thing was we were trying to be independent, independent as we could be.
Well, solar has come so
Oh,
far,
yes.
and that
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's no. I've need to get out of the city, and that I found out that I had Lyme disease last year, and
no.
my senses in hearing has
yeah.
been impacted quite a bit from it. Where I'm much more sensitive to sound, and that so it's like I would love to be someplace quieter.
It's so quiet. I was sitting here this morning actually having tea, and I was like, man. And we couldn't. My sister, where she lives in Grand Junction, is she's in a neighborhood, and so we go and we stay with her, and right like over there is the other guy's house with his kids, and we're like, I don't know if I could do this. And then his son's just the opposite. He comes from Phoenix, and he has to wear his headphones sleeping up in that bedroom and he locks all the doors because he's afraid. We're like, you live in Mesa, what?
35-year-old chicken shit.
Yeah,
He's funny.
he is. He's like, I don't know if I could do this all the time. You get used to it.
We don't have we have internet, but we don't have streaming ability, so we have
No TV.
Okay.
So
we have we'll watch movies and stuff.
yeah, but a lot of times it's funny that I just lost my train. My train derails badly. I'll be in the middle of a sentence, I go, what the fuck was I saying there?
I was telling him about Jordan and the books, and we didn't have even a TV for years out here. So, and her husband, he's not new. They've been married about 8 years, but he's like, Jordan can just sit down in the house after they got married and read a book. And we're like,
Shazam.
yeah, she can. Because he doesn't read anything. He's just like, nah.
Yeah, that's funny though.
Yeah,
It's been fun living here. We hate to go, but pretty soon I won't be able to move at all, and so we got to get someplace where we have some help.
Yeah.
And we figure, we got a couple years, huh?
Maybe do a little bit more traveling, see some more places, and
Yeah.
get some use out of the RV.
Everywhere. This is the problem.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you the problem. He's been everywhere on a private jet, a private yacht, a private this, private that. I would like to go to Italy and go to the Amalfi Coast, but he's like, well, they went on, the Amway, Mr. DeVos, they went on his private yacht through the Amalfi Coast, and I was like, and they flew on the Orlando Magic's plane, and I'm like, okay, you're not going to go in coach with me, and we're going to stay in a hotel.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, he's been everywhere.
I've been to 49 countries
Oh, wow.
and 48 states. I haven't been
I know.
to South Dakota or North Dakota.
We got to do that. Well, we're going to go to South Dakota to see.
It's pretty boring.
Mount Rushmore. Is Mount Rushmore there?
Yeah, Mount Rushmore's there,
Because he's never been a bucket list person.
Okay.
and I want to see Devil's Tower.
Okay.
That's kind of
I did that a few years
Did
ago.
you?
Yeah.
It is a neat
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. It's very cool up
That's
there.
cool.
Like,
That's
I
good
mean,
to hear.
We've like explored because to get him to go that way, like Los Angeles way, it was like, you know, pulling teeth. But we've done lots of Utah, Arizona.
love going out to Moab.
Oh
and-
yeah,
Yeah.
and just
Four
to take
Corners
van
area.
trips. It's
Yeah.
been
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, and just hit the small roads like Highway 12 in Utah. Beautiful. Holy cow.
Yeah, so we've done all of that, and so we're kind of running out of stuff. We did Death Valley, the 395. We've done all of that. I'd like to do that again. Go up to June Lake and.
Yeah, and then when we first got together, I had a Jeep, and so we would go out and we bought the Jeep trails of Southern California. And we kind of worked from Interstate 8 by San Diego all the way up through here, all the old mining towns.
That's
and
how
all
we
that.
found the property.
Yeah,
We were driving around. We actually took the back road to Big Bear, and
it's only 17 miles from here to Big Bear Lake if you take the Forest Road.
yeah, the Forest Road, or it's 45 minutes
Oh,
around
okay.
back.
Yeah.
But we were out driving. Well, we were driving around up here, taking that trail, and we kept seeing property for sale, and we liked the rocks. When we got up here into the rocks, I was like, wow, I really like the rocks. And Lee was getting close to retirement.
7 years.
Yeah,
up
you had
there.
about 7 years or so. He's like, do you know where you want to live? I'm like, nah, I don't know. So anyway, we were driving around, writing numbers down, and then we turned the corner, and right when you come off of Pioneer Town to Pipes Canyon, there's a house right there, and that was the Vicks. It was actually Pipes Canyon Realty. So we pulled in there in our Jeep, and they were these two old couple.
You're funny.
They were so cute. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Vick, and they had these little crazy, like little bulldog little dogs. But we went in, and we're like, oh, because we had looked at, there was an 80 acres over on the mountain over here, and there was 40 acres and 20, and we had written them down. She's like, my favorite 20 acres, you'll need a vehicle like yours, our Jeep. And she said, and so Mr. Vick jumped in the car with us. We drove up on the hill, and we said, it was $20,000. It was $1,000 an acre. We're like, we'll take it. And we're just going to take the money we thought out of Lee's retirement plan. And Mrs. Hamilton, the lady who actually owned it, she's like, no, I'll carry it for you guys, you kids. I'll carry it for you kids. So she carried the loan. It was like $140 a month or something, and she was really super sweet. Her husband, I think they were pretty wealthy, and he owned all of like Orange County area, and this was her 20 acres of land that she owned.
Okay.
So we sent her pictures and she passed away, but that was so that was kind of, and the Vicks were cool. He was old and crazy.
It's been fun though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, he asked if it snowed, and I said, oh yeah, we've had a couple of big snows.
Yeah.
A couple little snows.
I want to eat the dogs.
Yeah.
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 Well, thank you again.
Yes.
I have to get going.
you gotta
Otherwise,
go with the
I would
dogs.
still chat with you all day. But
I'm not gonna-
thank you. Thank you.